coverage between 100 Thieves taking on Immortals to see if 100 Thieves can break away from that loss yesterday against Team Liquid and see if they can get that first place, or if Immortals can continue their 2-game winning streak to finally put them in the middle of the pack here with all the other Academy teams. I'm super excited to be covering this game because one of the things that already catch my eye is that Hakuho has finally got that Thresh. Has been banned away from it 3 games in a row. And he's finally going to be able to do it with Apollo on the Aphelios, very strong ADC at the moment. If Varus isn't really considered, you know, I feel like Aphelios is the next best thing. Has super strong scaling, does a lot of damage, especially with Infernum, when he's able to use that with his ultimate. And also, he has a lot of great setup too. You gotta remember, Gravitum does a great job at just catching people off guard. There's a lot of ways for Apollo and Hakuho to really pick apart 100 Thieves if they wanted to. And I'm really looking at this super strong bot lane as Alorum gonna be playing the super safe Aatrox to make sure he neutralizes that lane against Fake God, while Fake God has that aggressive Renekton to really get into the face of Aatrox. He is still going to be looking to make sure the lane's neutralized, nothing's happening, as both junglers are going to be starting in the bottom side. And that's probably because if you look at 100 Thieves, there are a couple things going for them right now. The first thing, they have the Nidalee into the Graves matchup. Someone to really match the pathing prowess that Graves can provide. One of the best junglers in the game at the moment. I think it's too tough to tell if he is still the best jungler in 10.12. But Nidalee has come up as the answer to really challenge this Graves. As right while in the bot lane, we're going to see Poom and Prismo, although, sure, this is a comfort pick for Immortals, they're looking at both the Set and the Ezreal, who can also stand up for themselves too, while Ezreal does take a little bit to kind of get going. You know, Poom with this Set looking to challenge this Thresh as much as he can, and he's not taking the Omni Stone actually. He's going to be taking that Phase Rush, which should lead to more some more interesting engages towards the later half of the game. Meanwhile, as we look at the mid lane, both mid laners going to be taking that unsealed spellbook as Contracts already going to be looking for a gank, but Soligo isn't really going to be finding anything here. And Contracts actually going to be looking for the full clear by showing himself towards the mid lane, provides some pressure, and also kind of tells you a little bit about the game plan. This Nidalee wants to get the full clear, and you know, at the end of the day, the Nidalee is going to be looking to clear a lot more faster than his Graves and should be coming online even more, even quicker, as Xmithy does take a little bit to kind of, you know, build up on this Graves while he's working on that Death Stance and the Black Clear rate. He's currently just clearing towards the top side right now, playing a little bit defensive while we see Poom actually going for a roll, maybe looking for a play here. There's a wave building built up. It's a 3v1. Sanity gets stunned. That's the spear going to be landing at. Great job by 100 Thieves. Contracts immediately starting things off. And Poom with this Phase Rush, although we didn't really see it there, it immediately tells us that he's looking to leave Prismo by himself. He wants to get away from this extremely tough lane from Apollo and Hakuho, and he wants to help support his team across the map. But look at this. Now Contracts has to flash away. That's going to be the teleport coming in for Insanity, and he's trying to make things happen to punish Contracts. But Contracts without his flash shouldn't be the end of the world here, but another play coming down. Fake God's coming in. Spiffy now has to get away. 100 Thieves playing so aggressively here. Soligo has to stun. Spear's gonna land, but will it matter? That's gonna be flash for the Fake God, and immediately 2 quick kills from 100 Thieves, but here comes Insanity. Flashes in, tries to get a Retribution kill, but a 2-for-1 and a double kill plus a red buff for Fake God. That's gonna be great for this Renekton. Once again, you know, Aatrox is just looking to neutralize the lane. He doesn't want this top lane to pop off, but Fake God able to run down, being able to shove Alorum under the tower, isn't able to, you know, assist his team there. And we get to see immediately Fake God get a huge advantage of some. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, action's not stopping. 100 Thieves does not want Immortals to scale up. They do have a pretty passive composition that's just waiting to react to the composition for 100 Thieves, but so far in this early game, 100 Thieves has done a really good job setting up the temple and making, you know, Immortals really work for him. And Contracts just comes back to the mid lane. Insanity gonna be caked one more time. That's gonna be the Nidalee. 4 kills on the Contracts, just making plays all over the map. And this Nidalee, once again, we're seeing why it's being picked. Wants to constantly bam, bam, bam. make plays happen all over the map, especially when he has such strong topside support with this Twisted Fate and Renekton and being able to set so much. We talked about it earlier, you know, the strongest point for Immortals is that bot lane. And 100 Thieves, they want to get away from that strong point from Immortals. They want to make sure 100 Thieves wants to make sure that they're able to dictate the plays and not let Immortals be able to just slowly scale up and have an extremely threatening late game when it comes to that. And that's, you know, really well done by 100 Thieves, not only in this draft, but also how they're playing so far. So the Sanity being behind is going to be really good here for 100 Thieves too, because they now don't really have to worry about Insanity's long-range poke whenever they want to try to contest these objectives that are up. Another thing we have to talk about, Cloud Drake being the first dragon, 100 Thieves are more than happy to let Immortals get that for themselves, because you have to really realize they don't, aside from the Aphelios, it really doesn't benefit the champions like the Zoe or the Aatrox here, but we are going to see right now, maybe a roam coming up, but maybe it's a bait. Smithy going to get stunned up, and once again, 100 Thieves setting up the place. Looks like they were going for the top side dive, but instead, no, they are actually going to go for the top side dive. And action immediately happening under tower, and Alorum, where did he go? 100 Thieves, they are putting the foot on the gas pedal and not letting any run from Immortals breathe right now. Very nicely done. They're playing to their strengths. This top-sided map, Soligo and Fake God can set things up super, super well. For the past few games, 100 Thieves have been really playing around Prisma and Plume, being very efficient bot laners and being able to pick a lot of their fights. But against the veterans, the Polo and Hakuho, why go to the bot lane when you could just, hey, you know, we got ourselves a pretty good thing going up for the top side. Instead of us challenging this bot side who hasn't had an impact at this map so far for Immortals, why not 100 Thieves? Once again, their win condition playing around this Twisted Fate and this Renekton with contracts constantly being able to apply pressure over and over and over again. Cloud Drake is going to get taken away here, but it is the first Drake of the game. It isn't really going to be game-changing here, and it's just more of a compilation prize, or basically a freebie here for Immortals. They are gonna have, you know, if they're able to get that Mountain and Cloud Drake for themselves, I mean, it is a win con, but at the end of the day, you know, you're still gonna have to deal with 100 Thieves applying a lot of pressure, and their next play for sure, most likely this Rift Herald, they want to break open the map as soon as they can, so Soligo can go ahead, roam wherever he pleases, and whenever they get a pick, they're able to get it. Like, look, at the minimap right now, Twisted Fate, Renekton, and Set, they're just constantly lying down vision, making sure that this top side of the map for Immortals is just completely shut down. Like, there's no way Xmafi right now is going to be able to contest this Rift Herald if 100 Thieves wanted to go for it right now. So once again, you know, we gonna have to repeat the story over and over again. All 100 Thieves are gonna have to do this game. You know, we just want top side of the map. And Ezreal, sure, gonna be down 20 CS. But he's an extremely safe bot laner, and, you know, sometimes you gotta cut your losses, right? You gotta, if you want something, right, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. And this cost here for 100 Thieves is gonna be this bot lane. And although 100 Thieves playing extremely well in the top side of the map, I mean, there's a time bomb. His name is Aphelios, and that's gonna be a hole right now in the bot side with Xmiffy and Hakuho within the distance, maybe setting up this dive as Rift Herald is gone. Global notification there. Everyone knows where a contract is at right now, and could be a play coming from Immortals. This would be the first time Hakuho and Apollo have a time to play. Prismo immediately going to be in a lot of trouble, and look at that level disadvantage there. Apollo 2 levels up. Prismo has been all by himself, hasn't really been getting any help on this Ezreal so far. And, you know, that's going to be okay here. You know, once again, 100 Thieves, they're okay with giving up a little bit of top side, bottom side to get the top side ahead. And we also see right now on the mini-map, you know, a little confrontation between Hakuho and the bottom lane here for 100 Thieves, but a lot of damage being built onto the top side of the map. I think at this point for Immortals, they need to find a way to, you know, mitigate a little bit of the pressure that's being presented by 100 Thieves. I think you just send the Aphelios up to the top side and like, you know what? Just keep farming, Apollo. You are the star of the show today. While Alorum, Insanity, Xbivy, and Hakuho are just playing second fiddle. At the end of the day, you have to realize Immortals' win condition comes from Apollo. 2 levels up on a Prismal right now. Has not had to worry about anything in the bot side. Hasn't been challenged at all. Is currently on a 2v1 while Hakuho is on his way here. And you gotta realize, Immortals, like, sure, they're behind in the early game, but just because you're down 5k gold doesn't mean they're out of it just yet. You still have to realize this composition in the end for Immortals was built around Apollo being able to utilize his experience and expertise on this Aphelios and pop off on team fights. And 100 Thieves, they have to find a way to shut down Apollo in fights. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pain here. And I fully expect Apollo to maybe go something like the IE into the Phantom Dancer, into Death's Dance to be extremely hard to kill. Now that Rift Herald has been taken down, we're starting to see 100 Thieves. They don't have a lot of other opportunities to find plays besides the bot lane. And you have to realize that Prismo right now is not in a condition whatsoever to be doing a 3v2 or 2v2. Any fight's basically involving Apollo. And once again, it's not Prismo's fault. It's 100 Thieves playing towards the strong side of the map. And as a result, both Prismo and Poom are kind of both left to suffer here. And you know, they are going to scale eventually, but you have to realize an Ezreal that's behind still has opportunities to catch up, as opposed to maybe Fake God that may have been put behind. So they're going to be going ahead and giving up this bottom tower, and at the end of the day, both teams have their win conditions starting to come more online. You know, top side of the map looking to make plays and maybe picking apart Apollo, while Immortals right now, if you're an investor, you're putting all your stocks into the Apollo show, baby, as, oh, Insanity, maybe caught out once again. Use the cleanse to skedaddle out of there. Contracts maybe looking for a pick there. No gold card there. Buy Soligo in. Insanity not having the greatest game either, but you know, he has time to catch back up. You know, Zoe at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really matter how behind she is still gonna have some wacky stuff coming out, like Sleepy Trouble Bubble from halfway across the map. I mean, like, sign me up for that, right? Like, you know, it's just going to be brutal. Anyways, 100 Thieves, they are going to be looking to get this dragon for themselves. They noticed that Apollo has reset and now has probably saw him in the top side of the map here. So he's going to be going ahead, taking that long lane for himself most likely, and starting to apply his lead towards that top side of the map, which is all still open. Well, now the tempo has changed a little bit. Now this is about, can Prismo catch back up? And you see right now on your mini-map, Immortals just sending everyone to the top side, setting up for Apollo for that push, while this tower is going to be constantly under siege. And also, if you look at mid lane too, Soligo and Contracts going to be all, Soligo, Contracts, and Fake God going to be looking to get that mid tower. So both teams right now, they're done fighting over and over again. Now just shaking hands. They're like, you know what? We can chill out a little bit. Let's go ahead, trade some objectives. And both Immortals and 100 Thieves, they want to get their ADCs up ahead. Because at the end of the day, you may not like it, but right now, ADCs are kind of the hot topic here in 10.12. Mainly because, you know, ADCs like the Aphelios and Ezreal are able to just basically fend for themselves now, you know? Like, Apollo is just going ham on this tower, left all by himself, but the more gold that's put onto Aphelios here, the more threatening and the more self-sufficient he can become, right? Especially when he starts to build that Phantom Dancer, if he decides to kind of counter the pick potential here from 100 Thieves, while, you know, Ezreal going to be going for Iceborne Gauntlet, Death's Dance, Muramana, kind of the new norm build here for this Ezreal to make sure he stays alive as much as he can, and to also deal as, you know, constant damage and be a continuous threat for the team. You know, ADCs are kind of doing everything right now, just like how Ornn used to be like a tank assassin, mage, bruiser, tank carry. Now ADCs are kind of like, we're also ADC, assassins, bruiser, kind of tank. I mean, they're more like bruiser at this point. Also look at Graves too, like he builds Death's Dance, and, you know, oh wait, actually, stun being set up here. Fake God gonna be going on to Alorum, while I was on my little tangent, Alorum also now gonna continuously be bullied by, once again, the strong top side of the map, now being translated to the bot side. Contracts and Fake God, they're gonna probably be holding hands and sticking together for the rest of this game. They're just looking to be like, hey, you know what? we're buddies for the game. You know, we've been doing pretty well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And while Immortals, their answer, they're going to be looking at this mid tower, while Immortals are going to be looking at the tier 2 tower themselves. And Xmithy going to be looking at that. Oh, look at that! Wow, so much poke damage coming up from Immortals. We completely missed that from Insanity, Polo, and Hakuho. Mid lane push going to get thwarted there. Soligo going to be going down, and Rift Herald is going to go on over to Immortals. So much action is happening on the map. 9 kills on the game in 15 minutes, and it may not seem like it, but both these teams are constantly challenging each other in so many different ways, macro decisions on both sides. And once again, sure, Immortals down 5 kills, down 5k gold, but they got the scaling win condition. They can still play around Aphelios, who is continuously being built up. So much farm is going to be built on him. Maybe later we can take a look at gold here, but Poom right now going to be defending mid lane with contracts, and pretty sure at this point everyone else is going to be resetting here. I'm hoping to see if we can get maybe the gold count on Aphelios later on. But until then, something else kind of want to note here is that Contracts too is going to be having a lot of gold under his belt. Is a full item up compared to Xmithy right now. Contracts has been doing a great job just outpathing Xmithy entirely. And Xmithy, unfortunately, this Graves doesn't really have an easy lane to gank and really set up. Really, at this point, Graves is just trying to scale up alongside Aphelios, except Contracts is just going to be able to outpace him until like 30 or 40 minutes into the game if it goes that long. Granted, if you're 100 Thieves, you don't want the game to go that long, because eventually, when Aphelios and Zoe gets full build, that's when things just become, you know, darn, you know, it just becomes so much harder, man. Like, I'm gonna try, like, let's say you try to like pick out Aphelios in a fight, but he has the red gun up. I swear I'll get that name eventually, but he has so many guns, man. You're like, you can't really, I bet you can't really recognize all of them, but he has so many ways to kind of just stop himself from getting taken down, while, you know, Alorum so far is just not having the best game of his life, man. Like, he's been constantly camped, constantly put into really bad situations. It's just constantly under tower and just hasn't really been able to find a proactive play for himself, hasn't been able to participate in any of the kills Immortals has so far, and it's going to take some time for Aatrox to kind of come back up, but you know, Aatrox behind isn't really in the end of the world because he can still provide a lot of utility. He's probably just going to be going for a Black Cleaver, Death Stance, and maybe on full Bruiser or tank. You know, get the Sterax, you get the Spirit Visage, you become a little bit hard to kill here. As mid lane almost broken down here, but you see, like, 100 Thieves right now are playing like they don't even have... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Alorum just completely taken down out of nowhere. Sleeko's like, see ya, I don't want to be ya. While they are going to be focusing in the mid lane, the rest of Immortals are going to be capitalizing this play. They put the Rift on the turret, and look at that. Apollo is able to pick out Ezreal there, and now mid lane turret is going to be going down. So you're starting to see the cracks in the armor here for 100 Thieves. Sure, they're capitalizing their strong top side, but they can't deal with this Aphelios yet. He has an IE, sure, but he's super, super strong. 2 turrets down, Immortals are really pushing this out, and really nicely done for Immortals. They are going to be able to get the hook on the FLICKR. FLICKR going to be a lot of trouble. Shutdown going on to Xmithy, and Boom has to run away now. As Soligo and Contract still going to be relatively healthy. Boom not really going to be able to do this. Gets hit by some Trouble Bubble. It's going to be Contracts here. Ultimate going to hit all 4 members. But the rest of Immortals going to be looking to get away. Soligo going to be able to get 1. Let's see if he can get 2. Hakuho still going to be on the run as Contracts maybe looking for something too. Goes for the spear. Apollo sidesteps it. And it's going to be looking to see if he can get 1 out dual Contracts. You don't want Shutdown. Go into this Aphelios. And Immortals will get 2 turrets as a response to Alorum. Once again, being the martyr of the team, gets taken down. So what? Immortals, we're going to make that proactive play down the mid lane, and we are going to make sure that 100 Thieves, they don't feel comfortable with this lead. And if I'm 100 Thieves right now, sure, I'm having the time of my life on the top lane, but we just still can't seem to find a way to take down this Aphelios. That's just the question here, you know. Apollo hasn't been shut down. He's been getting so much farm, so much CS, and he's now going to be at 2 items here. The IE plus, you know, the Rune-on Hurricane is going to be so, so strong. And if you're 100 Thieves right now, like, you have to either take down Aphelios or Aphelios will take you down, right? You could get a pick on Xmithy, you could get a pick on Alorum, right? You could get a pick on Insanity, sure. their purpose is done after they get out their initial combo of, you know, the Sleepy Trouble Bow or just the initial burst combo. The person you need to take down is consistent source of damage here, and that's gonna be Apollo. And you know, some people may not like it, but I gotta repeat it once again. This win condition from Immortals, they're taking full advantage of their experienced bot lane here, while 100 Thieves are taking advantage of their experienced top side of the map. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you have a formula that's been working, for example, Apollo Hakuho, they've been playing together for, what, 3 years now? They're the longest standing duo in the LCS, and now in LCS Academy, right? They are the ones who are going to be leading the charge in this Immortal squad, backed up by Smithy. While FLICKR and Sligo have been on this Academy squad for about a year now, they were able to get a championship, while Someday was, you know, splitting time with FLICKR back in 2019. You know, both these teams have experience, especially, you know, you have Contracts too, who has been in LCS before. Started with FlyQuest and has worked his way around many other teams. Prismo, been with the team for, what, 1 year now? And Poom is that new member coming from the developmental program by 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves Next. Now looking to prove himself, but just hasn't had the opportunity just yet. Gets hooked now. And speaking of Poom, Poom going to be taking a little bit of damage once again. He's looking to build full moon speed to really catch this Immortals team by surprise. And realistically, you got so many people running at you, trying to take down Aphelios. It all comes down to execution. Like, the game plan is there. It really just depends, like, am I going to be able to find this Aphelios? But speaking of that, looks like right now a play is going to be going down onto Immortals. That's going to be Saligo trying to find something, but I don't think Immortals are phased at all. Gold card right now onto Hakuho. He's going to be able to get on out of there. And 100 Thieves, we saw earlier, they were able to make so many proactive plays in the early game, but Immortals have done a great job just stalling it out. You know, so what if Alorum is in danger? So what if he's going to be, you know, losing 3 kills to the top side of the map, or the bottom side of the map here when he was 2v1 by FakeGod and Sligo? The main goal of the game is to win. And Immortals, they don't lose anything if Alorum gets taken out by himself. They're sticking as 4. They're playing around Apollo, making sure this guy is set up for success. He's building that death stance right now. You know, this guy is just going to get harder and harder to take down. He gets that death stance. He gets the Phantom Dancer. And then probably maybe, like, he could even get a GA, you know? He doesn't really have to worry about the Last Whisper or healing reduction at all. This is a pretty squishy composition for 100 Thieves, right? They don't have a true tank at the end of the day. They have a lot of people willing to run at you. They have damage, sure, but do they have ways to sustain? I mean, maybe if they get Ocean Soul, which, once again, is going to be the name of the game here for both teams. But, like, once again, like, it's the Apollo show. At the end of the day, this guy is getting farm and farm and farm, getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And the more 100 Thieves waits around and doesn't make a proactive play to maybe, you know, get wins somewhere else, like, kills are temporary. Turrets and, you know, taking out the Nexus, that's permanent, right? You lose this game, that ain't going away, right? There's no way you can submit, like, maybe a principles of, like, hey, I didn't do so well week 2, day 2 against 100 Thieves. You know, could I get a redo? That doesn't happen here in the LCS Academy, you know? Once you play a game, it's done. It's recorded in their history books here. And so far right now, 100 Thieves, no one's going to remember their early game plays if they aren't able to close this one out. Immortals right now are doing a great job at just stalling it out and making 100 Thieves really work for that next chance to maybe get that team fight victory. Because now, all you have to do, just, you know, put their shoulders together and just be a little running group of people. But look, this team fight maybe breaking out here. 100 Thieves and Immortals just throwing blows right now. Poom has a Dead Man's Plate, constantly looking for a way to maybe get into the back line, but ran 100 Thieves are going to be the first one to this Ocean Drake. And, you know, it's going to be Soul Point. Like, Immortals still might want a little bit more time, maybe getting Apollo closer and closer to that death stance. So, you know, might as well. They're going to go ahead, give up that Ocean Drake. Not the worst thing in the world, right? When Soul Point becomes an issue, that's what it's going to be. But look, this Apollo playing so aggressive right now in front of Poom. He's just not afraid of this 100 Thieves squad looming right now. Big wave going on the bomb side, or in the mid lane here. Immortals looking to break down inhibitor. FakeGod is nowhere to be seen. It's a 5v4 so far for Immortals. They are going to back away here. Hex Flash, though, going to be used by Boom here. He's going to be looking for a way to go in. That's team fight. Maybe going in. FLICKR going for the flank. And look at this. Immortals, they're just like, nah, we'll go the other way. But Soligo comes out of nowhere. But Immortals, nah, we're going to go the way. No, they get a hook. Hakuho going to be going up. He goes way too far. But look at this Boom all by himself. He's going to get taken out of Immortal by Apollo. And the rest of Immortals right now, they're still trying to group up. They got to play around on Apollo. But that's a 1-for-1 so far. Soligo right now all by himself. 100 piece right now. Trying to see if they can, you know, maybe get some more. Soligo does have to flash, but flash away from Alorum after that gold card. 1-for-1 so far. 100 piece for now, finally pushing that 5 stack, but it is at the end of the day, Immortals, the only lost support for support. And almost disaster for both teams here. That fight could have went anywhere. Folks, you saw on the screen yourself, there's so much action happening. It may not seem like it, but even when, like, we have times down like this, both these teams are still playing towards to win con, right? Once again, Soligo, Contracts, and FLICKR constantly finding ways to, you know, maybe find a pick and be able to get an objective out of that. While Immortals right now, you know, Mr. President Apollo, we got your back, sir. You know, nobody is going to touch you. No one will take you down, sir. And Apollo's like, thanks, guys. You guys are truly the best. Immortals have fully implemented that buddy system this game, and they are more than happy to, you know, Hakuho, I mean, sorry, man. You got your first step of the game, but I mean, sacrifices gotta be made if they gotta make this Aphelios come fully online here on patch 10.12. Who, no Vars is out at the table. Aphelios, probably that next best thing. So game is going to continue here, 26 minutes in. Ostrick is going to be up in about 3 minutes, but Baron is now going to be the named game here. 1-3-1 right now being implemented by 100 Thieves. You got Soligo in the top side. You get FLICKR in the bot side. And Alorum, he's still not going to be able to 1v1 FLICKR. But, you know, we haven't talked about it, but we haven't talked about it for a reason. Alorum hasn't gotten to a 1v1 for FLICKR because he doesn't have to. He's playing Aatrox. He's more than happy to chill out under his tower, clear a wave while he can. Like, FLICKR doesn't, you know, he isn't going to be looking to tower dive Alorum while he's by himself, because right now all the gold's on FLICKR. Like, if Immortals have the opportunity to fight while FLICKR's not there, they're going to be more than happy to. If FLICKR does have TP, they're going to be looking at boom, look at that, Immortals, boom! You know, FLICKR not here, no crocodile, no problem. Let's go ahead, start a fight right now. And once again, Immortals, you know, if there's no crocodile to fear, there's nothing else that they need. You know, I was going for a rhyme there, but you get the joke there. Apollo's just, once again, protected by 4 very strong men who are looking to make sure, and Zoe, who are looking to make sure they're protecting their ADC. And they're doing a fantastic job at that. And every once in a while, they'll be like, all right, Apollo, you know, just get farm. And Apollo is like, okay, thanks, guys. You know, Alorum, you have teleport? Go ahead, go towards the bot side, get that farm once again. And, you know, FLICKR is trying so hard to push his lead, but that time is running out. In fact, it may have just been like, it may have just ran out here 28 minutes into the game. Like, FLICKR, sure, like, he has that Blader Root, he has that Black Leaf, he has the G8. Sure, I'll give him that. But can he take down Apollo, right? That's the win condition once again for Immortals. Your win condition doesn't matter if you can't take down the other enemy's win condition, right? Both teams always have fun. Oh, Soligo already loses half its HP. Like, Insanity was down for the majority of the game, but now look at this. Immortals maybe look for another pick on the Boom. Contracts. Looking to see if he can really get anything. Like, that's the other thing too. Contracts just hasn't been able to really pop off on this Nidalee. Like, this top side of the map has done a great job, but it's flatlined right now. No pressure coming out, and like, boom, it's gonna get picked out once again. Very nicely done by Immortals. Don't get him eventually. Gold's gonna go over to Xpiffy, and they need as many picks as possible because, I mean, 100 Thieves right now, they're looking to maybe play around this streak. But now, finally, the first time we say 1v1, whoa, Soligo, what are you doing in the base? Wow, 100 Thieves going super hard into Allure. They're finally tackling that really weak side of the map here, while the 4-man squad here for Immortals, they have to back on out of there, but they're about to get collapsed on. It's gonna be a 4v4 coming soon, and Hakuho and Sandy both really low. Spirit is gonna miss. 4v4 now. Stun gonna be on to Zoe. Zoe gonna be the first one down. Polo, though, still gonna be doing his best to see if he can do anything with damage to the rest of the team. But Allura gonna be going for the flank here, but won't be able to get anything so far. He is gonna go on missing there, and as soon as the big 3-man 4-man security squad is down for Apollo. So is the rest of Immortals. 100 Thieves, they're able to finally say, you know what? We've waited around long enough. Ocean is on the map. We're going to make you decide which is more important, your teammate's life or this Ocean Soul. And Immortals, they don't have a game plan. They lose to Ocean Soul. And now, once again, Temple going to be back on 100 Thieves' favor. They are going to have that Ocean Drake for themselves. And now, Prismo, silent but deadly. We haven't talked about him the whole game because we haven't had to worry about him the whole game. He's been behind Apollo the whole entire time, but just silently getting farmed and catching up. And that is the insurance policy for 100 Thieves. Sure, they have the really strong early to mid game, but in the late game, it becomes the Prismo show. When you have the Iceborne Golem, Death Stance, Muramana, it becomes so hard to take down. But look at this right now. Baron buff is going to be on the question here. That's going to be 100 Thieves going to be able to steal that one. Immortals, they may not want this fight at all. That's going to be a twist of fate. Ultimate being procced out here. But 100 Thieves, to get the Baron, they just want to see where the rest of Immortals are at. And now, 100 Thieves again. It looked a little bit shaky for them at the start. They were waiting and waiting and waiting. We thought that they were losing time because Apollo just got more and more strong. But instead, they were just waiting for Prismo to catch back up with the team. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters. If your ADC is strong or not. Even if your plan, even as your team has a game plan to not play around your ADC, it still doesn't matter. In 10.12, we have extremely hard scaling ADCs like the Aphelios and Ezreal, and they are looking to make havoc in the late game when they get their 3-item power spike. Apollo's the first one to get it, but he doesn't really have a team to really play around. Sure, they're grouping with him, but the rest of 100 Thieves are now grouping together. They have the Baron buff. They don't have the greatest siege in the world, but this Baron buff should enable them to keep applying pressure. 3-4 earlier in the bottom side for Immortals. They weren't really going. I'm not really sure they were going for it, but Hakuho got to be looking for the flash hook. Won't be able to get anyone. It looks like now Immortals, they had a thing going at first, but now now they're the ones that's lost to Temple. They have to deal with this onslaught of minions and Baron buffs and pick potential here from the rest of 100 Thieves first. One inhibitor is going to be in danger. And, Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands on the Prismo, but boom, just playing point defense. The Prismo is going to be a little bit low there, but does have that death stance. First, is it really going to matter here? We have 3 turrets in danger. Inhibitors, we might be seeing triple inhibitors here, but good defense right now coming out for Immortals. And now Immortals, with what you have to really wait for an opportunity to fight against 100 Thieves. You have to play reactive now. You don't have really a way to start play out, but look, this fake on the bouncer right now makes Aloran pop the ultimate here, as the rest of 100 Thieves right now are looking for that mid turret. But look at that, Xmiffy C! That's going to be a little quick snipe there, going on to the Graves there. Boom, gonna be going down, not having the best game of his life, but it is a team game. League of Legends is all about playing around what you have going for your squad. And they are currently playing around this top side of the map. 2 inhibitors going down, 1 inhibitor left. 100 Thieves, they want to get the triple inhibitor win con. But there's Gold Card, that's going to be on Xmiffy. 100 Thieves, maybe looking for a way to end the game here. 1 more inhibitor left. Even though Apollo is as strong as ever, the rest of the team here for Immortals isn't looking that great. Aloran right now trying to do work against Fake God, but this inhibitor will finally go down. 33-33 is all it takes for all 3 inhibitors to go on down. It's probably Destiny, which is the name of Twisted Fate's ultimate, but I mean, sure, I'll let you guys fate whatever picture you want. The facts are there. All 3 inhibitors are gone. And Immortals, they almost scaled back up. But once again, 100 Thieves, they waited around a little bit and then finally realized, I mean, like, we have a really strong top man in jungle. Let's use that. And they did. Aloran, 0-3-1, man. Rough game for him. Just hasn't been able to find anything. Insanity, 2-5-5. Sure, doing poke, but there's Ocean Drake now. What do you do, man? The writing's on the wall for Immortals, on the wall for Immortals, right? But 100 Thieves, anything could happen, right? Right? I mean, well, sure. There is a freak scenario where 100 Thieves could magically lose a fight, and then Immortals gets the Elder Drake, and then maybe the Baron, and finds a way to come back against 3 inhibitors down. But like, as someone who has many times been in this situation in solo queue, when you have 3 inhibitors down, morale is at an all-time low. You're scrambling for ways to really bring your team up, and like, you know, I could say we scale all we want. Like that's the story of the game. Immortals has that scaling abilities, but it's one versus many. Apollo versus like 5 extremely strong members here. Well, Putin's doing his best, but I mean, you know, he's still gonna be able to get his job done there for 100 Thieves. But it's Pum versus, it's like, no, not Pum versus the world. It's Apollo versus the world, and we will have to see how this, you know, if this kind of like works out, because now the rest of his team has kind of become a non-threat. And Apollo, sure, he has a Death Stance Phantom Dancer to really stay alive for a while. He is going to be building that Executioner's Calling to make sure, you know, the healing from 100 Thieves isn't really that big of a factor. But, like, you know, once again, 100 Thieves right now, this is their game to win. Immortals, they're making a push, the 3 hammers are down. None of their Nexus turrets are down, though, so that's a plus, but still. They're still looking for ways to get more farm. 100 Thieves, maybe, looking to challenge. They're challenging both the base here for Immortals and this Elder Dragon. 3-man strong right now, going to be taking on this Elder Drake here. And 100 Thieves, they're going to go ahead and continue playing that 1-3-1 pressure man. This is really well done by 100 Thieves, being able to choke down Immortals right now. They're scrambled. They're looking for a way to go. But meanwhile, look at the base here for Immortals. It's like so many super beams are there. Alarm is sad, he can't really defend against Fake God. It's legal. The power duel here. The strong side of the map. Wait, this game could just be over without any last team fight. This is looking like a disaster. Soligo is looking to put the finishing touches to the rest of the Immortals. They're confused. And that's going to be it here for 100 Thieves. They take the win.